Do you think it's because of a cultural thing, in the sense that here typically, like, we don't eat dogs, where they do, and that's the thing about it, or do you think there's more to it than that?
I suppose we do kill animals too.
Yeah.
It's just seen different, I guess.
Yeah, totally.
But I don't know. I suppose we have them as pets.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
It's not like they're going out there and killing a pet. Maybe they see it as a cow or something.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, basically the way I see it is that from like we eat cows here, the cow's perspective and the dog's perspective, like, they both value their life just as much. And for us, when we sort of look at them and say that's crazy, they're eating dogs, like, what's the difference really when we're eating cows and they're both innocent and they're both gentle and they can't defend themselves?
Yeah.
Like, do you think there's any difference in terms of this, like, the morality of eating the different kinds of animals?
I suppose probably not. If you put it that way.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, have you ever thought about, like, how we kill animals to eat, and, like, thought about, like, your food choices in that light?
yeah, I have, but I'd still never go vegetarian or anything.
What makes you say that?
I just enjoy meat, and I think we should be eating meat. A lot of people say we shouldn't, but we used to always eat meat.
Yeah.
Maybe the way that we do it now is completely immoral,
Yeah.
but I personally will buy grass-fed or like better, higher priced, better quality meats to try avoid that sort of slaughtering animals. But then, like you say, comparing it to them eating dogs, it might be the same thing for them, I guess.
Yeah.
So,
I appreciate you being so open-minded as well, man. That's really pleasant to exchange that with you. So you touched on, like, the idea of, like, animals being looked after, having a good life, like grass-fed and free range and that sort of thing. Say we give animals a good life, do you think that then makes it okay to kill them because we've looked after them?
well,
Or even put it like this, do you think that there is something in animal products that we need to eat?
well, they got good proteins and everything.
Yeah.
Like, even a lot of people disregard cow's milk, say we shouldn't be drinking cow's milk. If you're
Yeah.
above an infant, you shouldn't drink milk.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Would you know much about the dairy industry and their practices and what they do to?
probably not as much as you.
Yeah, yeah. Well, like, say, the way we're mammals and cows are mammals too. They only produce milk the same reasons that women only produce milk. So we have to artificially inseminate cows, and they're only producing it because they have babies. So what happens is the cows have their babies, and then they're taken away if we want to drink the milk that was initially meant for them. Did you know that?
To a degree, but obviously you don't think about that every day. And
Yeah, you definitely don't. You just
washed by
yeah.
life, sorry.
I mean, me personally, I kind of learned some stuff like that, and I thought how they pretty much profit off our ignorance, like us not knowing, and it kind of didn't sit well with me in that, like, had I known the truth, or like around the time when I was conscious to understand what went on, had I been told that, I maybe would have made the choice to not support that industry.
Yeah.
I think it goes back to, at heart, I would call myself like an animal lover, and I think most people at least like animals and don't like to see animals suffering unnecessarily. But like, from a nutrition perspective, I also looked into that and learned that like, we can get calcium from beans, for example. Vegetables are a really great source of calcium. And then I just started eating differently to like circumnavigate the industries and how they separate mothers and babies. And yeah, pretty much. So like now I would eat like totally plant-based. I wouldn't eat any animal products, and I feel like healthier. I have a lot more energy, and I just think that sort of lifestyle and stuff is gradually becoming more normal and accepted. Like a vegan diet.
Yeah.
And I think it's somewhat of a myth to think that like we need to eat animals to survive or to be healthy. What do you think about that?
I don't think it's necessarily to be healthy. Like, it comes down to molecules. Like if it's an amino acid, carbohydrate, or a fat, it all breaks down into a molecule. Some are longer chains, some are shorter chains. But
yeah,
and like you said, you can find it from plants and that. But
yeah.
I do enjoy meat.
Yeah,
as
yeah.
much as I hate the cruelty behind it, I wish it was done another way.
Yeah, taste is a big reason for eating meat. I'll definitely give you that because even though I don't eat it anymore, like I still will tell you that it does taste good.
Yeah.
And I actually, that's a good one. Like I thought about that long and hard, and then I thought like. Ultimately, it has to come down to: do I value taste more than someone's life? Like, what do you think about that? Have you ever thought about that before?
Not really.
It's an interesting question, isn't it? Like,
I wouldn't treat animals like that, but then
yeah, like if you seen someone hurting an animal in front of you,
yeah,
you maybe, I don't know, you maybe would intervene, but even at the very least, you would feel bad about it. You wouldn't feel good about it. Yeah, but I mean, do you think that there's a nice way to kill someone who doesn't want to die, doesn't want their life to be ended with being stabbed in the throat? Do you think there's a nice way to do it, or?
I don't know, if you... Obviously not, but being top of the food chain, you're going to have to kill something at some point.
Yeah.
Maybe not breeding them to kill or thousands at a time.
Yeah,
is probably not the best way to go about it, but then there's so many people that someone's trying to make money somewhere or some way, somehow.
Capitalism.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And yeah, it is a tough subject. It is hard. I'm definitely pro anti-dog festival.
Yeah, respect.
Obviously, like if I could own all the dogs in the world, I would.
Yeah. See on like let me see, like the food chain and that sort of thing. Are you talking about like we're the apex predators, or I mean, what do you mean like the food chain? Because to me, my understanding is a food chain is like that's the natural order. That's something that exists in nature. Yeah. But like I see us in modern society as so far removed from the natural order, and when we go to the supermarket or a restaurant, that's not the food chain. You know, we've evolved beyond the food chain now to the point where we are like kind of playing God with these animals' lives, in that we control their life, and the first day they're born, their date of execution's already planned, and like lions aren't breeding gazelles. You know, that's what we're doing. So to me, it's not so much a food chain anymore, and I do know that we evolved eating meat,
but
and
we've had to evolve to be on top, right? It's like an insect would grow armor if it could, you know. If it could beat the next biggest bug, and then the next biggest bug, anyone will do anything to get to the top of the food chain, and obviously we've done that through technology and being intelligent. Other species.
For sure.
A lion could go out and build a gun and come shoot us. I'm sure he would too, right?
Yeah. And do you think in that sense, so like intelligence, we obviously have that advantage to like create slaughterhouses and that sort of thing. Do you think because we can do something, it means that we should? Like, because we have the capacity to dominate and control, that's like a justification for us, like enabling us to do that. And keep in mind, like the whole like, I mean, I don't know if you've looked into it's been proved now. I mean, there's loads of people in the world, athletes and stuff. You ever heard of Patrick Babamian?
No.
He's Germany's world's strongest man. Have you heard of Rich Roll?
No.
He's like an ultra marathoner. But these guys, like, you heard of David Hay?
No.
Recently retired boxer. All these guys are vegan, so they get their nutrition from plants. They don't have like protein deficiencies or iron deficiencies or anything like that.
They've got millions of dollars though to buy.
Well, that's true. I mean, they probably have people cooking their own food and stuff. But really, when I thought about like all the cheapest foods in the world, like rice and potatoes and beans and lentils and chickpeas, like they're all vegan, and they're all like, you know, carbs and your macros and micros and stuff. Like they're all like complete sources of protein, and beans are full of iron and calcium and stuff too. Like, and me personally, like I'm vegan 2 years now, and like I haven't been to the doctor once. I mean, so like vegans are pretty much living proof that you can live without eating animal products.
A lot of people would go from eating lots of deep fried foods and all that And then obviously going to a plant-based diet, obviously they're gonna like feel better.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Yeah.
More vitamins. They're gonna get a lot more of all nutrients.
Yeah.
Compared to going to Macca's every second night,
like
or
a Western diet.
yeah. Like a lot of people eat unhealthy no matter what. So eating all vegetables.
And there's like vegan junk food diets, you know, like Oreos are vegan, Skittles are vegan. You can get vegan ice cream, Ben and Jerry's. You can even get vegan, like, you know, Bailey's.
Yeah.
There's a vegan Bailey's made of almond milk now. So yeah, you can go like the whole food plant-based way, you know, eating straight from the earth. But there's also that way of life, like if you want it, it's there. You can have the junk. So basically, I suppose the question that I'm coming around to is like, if and I still eat tasty, delicious food. Like I'm not eating salad. Like there's this whole idea that we're eating fucking grass, and it's just the furthest thing from the truth. So many restaurants and stuff around here, and supermarkets have like vegan chicken burgers and stuff. But if we can get our nutrition and taste and convenience, you know, from places around, it kind of means that by default we have no need to eat animal products. And with the issue of it, like we agreed that there's no nice way to kill someone who doesn't want to die and is totally innocent. So if we can, like, you know what I mean, still have a tasty, delicious, nutritious, healthier life, and no one has to die, are we like morally obligated to do so? What do you think?
Obligated to do what? To kill? To
like
eat?
Morally obligated not to kill others just for our taste preferences when we don't have to anymore?
Well, there's obviously different circumstances.
Yeah, talking about like...
You still see tribes and stuff out there.
Yeah, talking about like me, you, modern day society, where we have options.
Well, it's already heading towards that more vegan side anyway. As you can see, it's rapidly changing from just completely smashing animals. I think it is changing. Maybe slowly, but it is, it is more popular. Slow. You can always see like a new vegan place here, a vegan place there, so it is going to change.
It's awesome, yeah.
So whether it's 100% of people or 50% of people, it's still going to be better, I suppose, than what it was.
I mean, we're like purely in it for the animals. Obviously the health is a nice kickback, and it's better environmentally. That's awesome too. But for us, it's like, I don't want an animal to die for my taste buds if I don't have to anymore, and I can still enjoy that. But that's awesome that you can obviously see that shift in society. Do you think that you would do you see it as an inevitability that we will move away from eating animals, and one day we'll look back and say, wow, I can't believe we used to eat animals when we didn't have to. We used to kill so many innocent animals when we didn't have to. Do you think future generations might think that one day?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think people always eat meat. Yeah. It's more the mass production, right? It's all the way they do it.
Billions of animals.
Exactly. So
factory farms and stuff.
If veganism can slow that down, then I guess it's a good thing, but I don't think it'll ever stop.
Yeah. And I mean,
you'd have to shut down a lot of places in the world.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We've seen like butcher shops shut down and restaurants go fully vegan. Like there's a lot of pubs in London going like fully vegan. There's a few vegan cafes in Belfast even. But do you think like knowing that like we can live healthy? Oh yeah, man, I'm conscious of your time. I'll
sitting tall all day.
Yeah, I'll not keep you too much longer. Do you think like noticing that shift? With things sort of going in that direction, do you think you would like resist that, or do you think you would be like open to going with that as a logical progression? Bearing in mind,
resist it. But like even already, I kind of eat just meat and veg anyway. And like I said, I would buy more expensive meat to know that it was at least slightly more humane kind of thing. I know it sounds bad still because I'm still eating meat then, but I probably won't stop unless it becomes
like wait for other people to
not necessarily wait for other people, but like I feel like I'm eating healthy and properly. I wouldn't eat cheap shitty meat, especially knowing where it's come from too. Like I hate that too. And I'm all for that sort of stuff, but I don't know, at the same time it's weird. I'd still
you definitely feel there's like something about the whole thing doesn't sit right.
Yeah.
Because
I'll
even
probably
though,
sound like a
no man, I mean there's no judgment
hypocrite,
here. There's
you know what I mean?
There's no cheers, man. There's no judgment at all, because I used to eat animal products and stuff, and I just like thought about it myself too and came up with these. I kind of felt like I had contradictions. And then I felt like, well, I can absolve myself from these contradictions by just sort of removing myself out of the whole thing put together. But really, like, say if you could, we'll end it here, okay? Say if you could live in a world where you're not harming humans, or you could live in a world where you're not harming animals, or you could live in a world where you're not harming humans or animals. Which one would you choose to live in if you could?
Wouldn't harm any of them.
Yeah. But see, like 3 times a day, like when we sit down and have food, we're like choosing whether we want to have like peace on our plate or violence. Yeah. 3 times a day, like we can make the choice to eat peacefully, to respect like all forms of life, not just human beings. Because see, like eating animals and stuff, like it is a human rights issue too. Because when even in the high welfare like slaughterhouses or whatever, we're still demanding that people work cutting animals' throats all day long in a slaughterhouse because we want meat. And like I would hate to do that job, and I don't think anyone in this world aspires to work in a slaughterhouse. But because we want flesh, like it's necessary for people to work there. But I mean, I just leave you with that to think about. We have a card, so it's just some like documentaries and stuff. That one right there, the best speech you'll ever hear on YouTube. That's what opened my mind to all this, and that's what made me vegan. And if you're ever interested, man, because I always say to people like who haven't tried to be vegan before, in that case, then it's somewhat of an assumption. But the little see that 22 days of food support. That's like, it's on Facebook Messenger. You get a dietitian, a nutritionist, and someone to tell you where you can shop for like the vegan versions of your favorite food. And then after, it's because it's like 21 days to form a habit and another day for just good luck or whatever. Then it's not just an assumption. You have some like proper evidence to equate. Like, was it hard? Was it difficult? So like, you know, you could try that out. But I would maybe like check out the speech first.
No worries,
and if the speech resonates with you and if it makes sense, then maybe you could like check out the diet thing. But
I've got a few vegan friends and that. And
awesome, man.
They've all tried. I wouldn't turn away vegetable meals.
Yeah, I mean, you tried vegan food, like.
Yeah. I wouldn't turn it away. Like,
I'd probably say like half the food on your plate is probably vegan already, you know.
It's good that it's all on the rise, I guess.
For sure, man. For sure.
As it gets bigger,
it's inevitable, man.
Direction.
Yeah.
It should be.
I mean,
it's at least a forward direction instead of going backwards.
Definitely, man. I think like we all believe that we want to see a peaceful world and stuff, but I just don't think we can have it if we're paying for innocent animals to die violently.
Definitely.
You know, it's like a sort of a, I want peace, but I'm not willing to, you know what I mean, stop killing animals. But it's all good, man. Huh?
That's probably what I was doing.
No, man, not at all. You really don't, because I know that we're all born a blank canvas and we're just programmed with these ideas, and it's very normal and traditional for us all to eat animal products. We don't question what's widespread accepted. And I just seen that guy's speech and it totally flipped everything I was led to believe. And I was like, wow, I don't want to be a part of this anymore. So yeah, man, thank you so much.
What was your name?
Thomas. Yourself?
Jason,
man, have a really great day, and maybe see you on the other side. Oh, good, man.
That was really good.